Hello, my friend. This is Shelly Shumway, and I help women who feel stuck to co-create their lives with God and feel alive again. So if it's okay with you, I'd like to just welcome you to this page, first of all, and I'd like to share a tidbit with you. Hopefully something that will help you today in this brief video. And you can decide if you'd like to learn more from me. There are some resources down below that you can look at too as well. And so this is just an intro to get to know me, and I'm happy to see you today. So there are different ways that people desire and look for transformation. And there are, maybe you have tried some of these before: physical, mental transformation, your thoughts, emotional, energetic, and spiritual. And a lot of life coaches like myself, they actually focus on these top three, the more surfacey ones, the more that they are more accepted in society, for sure. That is what most people talk about on the regular, are the your thoughts that lead to your emotions, that lead to your thoughts, that lead to your actions, that lead to your results, those kinds of things, which are very effective, very, very good to know and to look at, right? And then you have energetic, which I have some energetic tools that I have in my toolbox as well, and spiritual. And what I help people do, as particularly women and some great men, is to help make God the CEO in their life, to give Jesus that, let Jesus take the wheel, not just in times when you're like in chaos or stress or your life is falling apart, but give him the wheel and take action steps from what he tells you to do. And then you go do the action steps. Like, you give him the how, like, how do I do this? Like, let him take the wheel more in your life. Let him be your CEO. He has been my CEO all throughout my business. And it's been such a blessing, because I have in my business and in my life, I have a lot more surety, a lot more security, a lot less stress, a lot less confusion, more calm, and I'm more relaxed and more happy and alive and excited. So these spiritual tools, they can take care of all of the rest of these. Jesus, in based on what you're like, if you're Christian or whatever you are, even if you just have a basic belief in a higher power, it's my experience that God or Jesus can take care of all of these things, where maybe we're just ready to do some mental work. Maybe we're only ready to do some emotional or energetic work. Maybe we're only ready to work on our body physically. Maybe that's where we're at, and that's all good, depending on where we're at. And I have found that when you go to the spiritual, that it's a more direct route, that you can get the exact answers you need to go to maybe these places and do the things that God knows that you need right now. He knows what your best next step is. And so I make him my CEO so that I can not waste any more time. So I can just go directly to what he already knows is the best next step for me. And so that's how I coach my clients too, because I am all about saving time. So I'm going to just teach you a little bit here. That's just a little bit about how I roll. I'm very much spiritually based. Everything else has its place. So I help people in getting their next level goal, because I feel like that does a lot of things. It helps you get your next level goal, whatever that is. It's financial or your body or relationship, whatever it is, right? And then at the same time, you get to co-create with God. So you get to start hearing him. You start to even have more of a relationship with him, which is exhilarating and which is really, really cool to know that you're not alone and that you have help. And it makes you feel alive. And so when you feel stuck, I have been there. When you're stuck and you're not going up or down, you're just stuck. You're like no motivation. You're stuck in indecision and you can't really move. The best way for me to get out of that is to remember that I'm not alone and to experience that feeling, experience that co-creating with God, that he is right there holding on to the back of my bicycle seat, and he's holding me there. He's holding me up as I'm steering and pedaling, and he's telling me which way to go, which way to steer. And I'm doing the work. But it's so energizing to know that he's with me. And that's what I teach my clients. So when you're going to get a goal, for instance, say you've got this goal out here, and say you say this was an inspired goal. So you get these, and I teach people how to recognize inspired goals. So say you got this inspired goal, okay? And you put it out here because you've never done it before. So you're thinking it's going to be out here. It might be hard. It's different. And you don't know how to do it yet. You don't know how you're going to get it. Maybe you've never experienced it before. It's a brand new experience. So you put it out here. Your brain does that. And it might look different than everything else that's in your brain. These are all the files in your brain of everything that you've ever done up to this point. This looks very different than that, than any of those files. Your brain searches those files and says, we've never done that before. And so it's easy when we have an inspired goal to kind of freak out a little bit and say, I don't know if I can do that. Especially if it's a big audacious goal that comes to your mind, like I have never made that much money in 3 months, or I don't know how this is going to work because I've heard that this and this and this and this are going against me, and I don't think that's possible. But in my heart, I feel like this is what I'm supposed to do. And so sometimes we'll freak out because we're only looking at this. What we've experienced up till now is in these files right here. And that's sometimes what we refer to, even if it's faulty information and it's only information from our past. This kind of information from God is all about our future. It's where he desires us to go. So it's going to look different than our past. It's going to look different than things that you've done before, right? So what I teach people to do is a 5-step process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's a 5-step process that I use to work with the functions of the brain and the body to relax and be okay with this goal looking different than what's currently in your brain and your body, what's stored there. And because we are the perfect storage system for everything that we've experienced up to this point. So in this 5-step process, and the 5th is action steps. So action does not come at the beginning. It comes at the 5th. That's the last step. Then what that does is it brings your goal back in here. It brings it right in with you. And what that does is it calms the fears. It calms the fight or flight. It helps you feel relaxed. Because can you get help, like peace and inspiration, when you are in fight or flight, when you're nervous, when you're thinking about how can you get extra help that way? Usually not. Usually it's when you're relaxed, when your nervous system is relaxed, when your body and your mind are relaxed. That is when everything works. That's when you let go of weight. That's when you get those inspired answers. That's when you get all your genius ideas. That's when you feel that hope and exhilaration. It's when you're relaxed and when you can actually hear. That's the ultimate kind of excitement. It's not necessarily the dream way out in front of you that's big and sparkly that you don't know how to get. No, it's the bringing it inside you. So this step, this process that I take people through, essentially what it does is it takes away that arrow and it brings everything right here so that it becomes more commonplace. Your goal becomes second nature. It becomes not a big deal. You become aligned with it. And as you do that, then that's when you experience your goal. It's like these these right here are the spiritual creation before the physical creation. The physical creation are the action steps, which actually bring that into the physical form. It's like this is the cake, and this is and the frosting, and this is like the sprinkles on top. Is like the actually getting your goal, because by the time you get it, it's already part of you. It's like, oh yeah, I already had it. It's just that it just showed up. So if this kind of creation resonates with you, in creation in a relaxed state, in an exhilarated state, in a very much alive, feeling alive and purposeful state, instead of feeling the blindness that comes with feeling stuck and feeling unmotivated and unfulfilled, if you are ready to experience life more alive and having that joy that comes from creating with God, and that security, that feeling of I'm doing this with God, with somebody bigger than me who knows everything. There's so much security that comes from that. If you desire to have a little glimpse of this, what this looks like for you and your next step, your desired outcome, I have created a special thing that I'm offering for a limited time. It is called a Feeling Freedom Strategy Session. It's a 30-minute Zoom call with me where I'm going to go through this with you, with your specific thing, or help you find that specific thing if you're trying to just get unstuck so that you can pick something. That is what I do. And that's one of the things that I do. There's a lot of other tools that I use to help you do this. So if this speaks to you, then there is a link to the side of this video where you can schedule one of these strategy sessions with me. I'm just opening up a few. They're just in the next little while. It's just for a limited time that these free sessions will be there. And so I would love to talk to you and help you work through this for yourself. And I hope that this has given you a little bit of inspiration of what you can do for yourself starting today. So again, look at the free resources down below if you desire to. Jump on a call with me, as long as they're just first come, first serve. Once they're full, then they're full. I'm just offering them for the next little while. And I'd love to talk with you. So I hope this page helps you, and have a great day. We'll see you soon.